Have you ever found yourself trapped in a relationship, stumbling over mistakes that seem to haunt you? Relationships can be a perplexing maze, and often we find ourselves making choices that lead to unintended consequences. There are 7 deadly relationship mistakes that God wants you to avoid at all costs. First and foremost, the most egregious mistake one can commit in relationships is neglecting prayer and communication with God. This error can manifest itself in various forms, such as failing to acknowledge God's presence or ignoring His wisdom when making decisions about our relationships. By doing so, we cut ourselves off from the divine source of love, understanding, and direction. To prevent this, remember always to pray fervently, seeking God's counsel in all matters related to your relationships, for He alone knows what is best for you and those around you. Another fatal flaw in relationships is harboring bitterness and resentment towards others. When we hold on to grudges and allow anger to fester within our hearts, we create an impenetrable wall between ourselves and those we claim to love. This emotional barrier prevents genuine connection and growth in both parties involved. In order to break free from these chains of negativity, practice forgiveness, not just for yourself, but also for others. Embrace humility and recognize that each person has their own unique struggles and burdens to bear. Through forgiveness, you open up space for healing and reconciliation, paving the way for deeper connections rooted in compassion and empathy. Thirdly, many people fall into the trap of placing conditions on their love and acceptance of others. They may say things like, "I'll love you once," or "You must do this before I feel comfortable giving my full affection." Such attitudes betray a lack of trust in God's plan for our lives and relationships. We must learn to trust that God will guide us every step of the way, leading us to the right people at the right times. Unconditional love means loving someone without reservations or expectations, simply because they are deserving of our affection due to their inherent worth as human beings created by God Himself. Strive to cultivate this kind of selfless love within your heart, and watch how it transforms not only your relationships, but also your soul. Next, it is crucial to avoid comparing yourself to others in terms of relationships and personal achievements. Comparison breeds envy, jealousy, and dissatisfaction, which ultimately erode the foundation upon which true happiness rests. Instead of focusing on what everyone else seems to have, turn your gaze toward your own path and progress. Recognize that each individual walks a different journey, facing distinct challenges along the way. Celebrate your accomplishments while remaining mindful of areas where growth is needed. Remember, dear friends, that comparison steals joy. Contentment comes from embracing who we are and trusting that God has a unique purpose for our lives. Fifthly, let us never forget the importance of patience in nurturing healthy relationships. Patience allows for understanding and tolerance during difficult moments, fostering resilience and adaptability in the face of adversity. It enables us to see beyond temporary setbacks and appreciate the beauty of slow, steady growth. As we patiently work through issues together, we build strong foundations based on mutual respect and appreciation. So, practice patience daily, especially when faced with trials that test your resolve. Trust in God's timing, knowing that He works in mysterious ways to bring about the best possible outcome for all concerned. Moving forward, another common mistake lies in expecting perfection from ourselves and others in relationships. Perfectionism sets unrealistic standards that inevitably lead to frustration and disappointment. No human being can ever attain complete perfection in any aspect of life, including romantic partnerships. Rather than striving for impossible ideals, focus instead on celebrating imperfections as opportunities for learning and growth. Acknowledge the flaws in yourself and others with kindness and gentleness, recognizing them as essential aspects of our shared humanity. Let go of the need for control and surrender to the idea that vulnerability and authenticity are far more valuable than any semblance of perfection. Lastly, guard against allowing material possessions and superficial pursuits to become the cornerstone of your relationships. Material wealth and social status cannot substitute for genuine love and connection. If we prioritize such fleeting pleasures over deepening our bonds with loved ones, we risk losing sight of what truly matters in life. Reconnect with your spirit and remind yourself constantly of the transient nature of worldly goods. Seek out experiences that foster meaningful interactions rather than chasing after empty promises offered by consumer culture. Embody the teachings of Jesus Christ, who admonished his followers to lay up treasures in heaven, reminding us that lasting fulfillment comes from investing in eternal values rather than temporal possessions. In conclusion, it is vital to remain vigilant against these 7 deadly relationship mistakes that God wishes for us to avoid. Prayerfully seek his guidance, forgive freely, offer unconditional love, resist comparison, exercise patience, accept imperfections, and value substance over surface-level attractions. By following these principles, we lay the groundwork for thriving relationships built upon mutual trust, respect, and devotion. May we walk hand in hand with God, illuminating our paths with faith, hope, and love, qualities that transcend earthly limitations and bind us eternally to one another.